Okay, here we go for our second half of chapter 5. Kind of nice to be able to teach this way sometimes when you can stop and make some popcorn and have some tea. So, and you guys can watch it at any time you like. So, we just finished talking about Steamboat Springs and their training program they did for their town. We're going to move on to the customer role in delivering service. So we talked a lot about the employer role in delivering service, and now we're going to move over to the customer. So customer participation in service delivery and co-creation. So if you think of employees as actors and consumers as the audience, and then where you're interacting is the service scape or the setting of where the customer service is being delivered. Sometimes customers play three major roles in service delivery. So they play a role in the productive resources. So the customers are partial employees. They talk about this in customers kind of getting their own food or self-seating or things like that. They also contribute to personal satisfaction. So the service outcome is dependent on the customer participation. So sometimes if a customer can, in something like healthcare or education or personal fitness and weight loss, the satisfaction is definitely dependent on how much the customer participates. So, weight loss program, if the customer is not participating, they're not going to lose any weight, they're probably not going to have any satisfaction. So customers contribute to the quality service delivery. And potential competitors, internal or external exchange, also plays a role in service delivery. So these can occur in things like childcare or house cleaning or car repair. So customer-to-customer interactions. Service consumption is the presence of other customers. So in some businesses, having that customer-to-customer interaction is what makes it a better experience for customers. So it's important to both the consumers and the company sometimes. So this customer-to-customer C2C interaction is successfully fostered. And some examples are companies like Harley Davidson or Jeep, Apple. Saturn's an old name. I don't think they make those anymore, but and then as well, you have an enhanced quality of life through these social interactions. So they're kind of third spaces where clients can come together. So, if you think of an example of Harley Davidson riders and how they get together and do all their runs outside of the dealership, and then also meet each other in the dealership and have chats. There's just a lot of ways that that consumer to consumer interaction happens when they sell that product to those people. There's sometimes managerial involvement in facilitating the customer to customer. So that's just saying that maybe Harley Davidson comes up with an event where all the Harley riders can get together, some kind of, teddy bear ride where they get stuffed animals for teddy bears or things like that as an example I could think of. They do that in town or have done that in Prince George before. The relationship between the customer interactions and satisfaction outcomes is typically higher. So when they do have that positive customer-to-customer interaction, there's usually a higher satisfaction level and more enjoyment for the customer by having that enhanced interaction. So there's been a number of studies on this. Here's a brief chart that they've come up with that surveys different types of interactions that customer-to-customer interactions that people have had. You can have a read through that and see if any of it jumps out at you for being valuable for you. Not too much of it jumped out to me. It does talk a little bit about some theme park travel and the satisfaction level when they can have some social behavior. So have a look at that study. It's on chapter 5, page 100. So the strategies for enhancing that customer participation. So the other overall goal is to increase the productivity and customer satisfaction while decreasing unpredictable customer action. So they're looking at, some strategies that you can use to enhance customer participation. If you clarify where they can participate, you identify some roles for them, understand the implications of productivity and quality, that helps customers have a better satisfaction or participation rate within a company. And you can also manage the mix. So, if there's segments that are compatible together, you can bring those segments of customers together. So companies can manage the, customer to customer interaction fairly well. So actually, on the last slide here, there is an example in the textbook of the of IATA, the International Air Transport Association. So they came out with an initiative of service options for passengers, where they came out with ways that passengers can help themselves, and that will also help save companies billions of dollars. So that's found page 103. So they came out with 5 steps, where passengers are able to deliver their own bags, tagged and ready for acceptance by the airline at a self-service drop. They have document scanning, flight rebooking, self-boarding bag recovery. They came up with these steps for customers to be able to do them, and it can save companies up to $2.1 billion annually across the different airlines. So kind of interesting when you do bring your customers in and give them some kind of level of participation, how it can have a big effect on companies as well. So, case study. The landscape of hotels has changed dramatically over a number of years. I've seen it in the industry that I work in, and they're trying to come up with ways to offer different things that appeal to customers. They've had a big entry to the market in Airbnbs and condo type places that has caused them to have to compete on a higher level. So they need to have more offerings. They're looking to provide more authentic, engaging social experiences for customers. This case study is talking about the Sutton Place Hotel in Revelstoke, where they give guests a social hour upon arrival. Or redesigning spaces to encourage social interaction. So, having lounges for people to hang out with, and gatherings of different types to encourage different guests to gather and make acquaintances and have that social interaction. So, it's a great way for the hotel industry to stay competitive in the service industry, where they're competing with condos and other types of sharing facilities now, and hostels and whatnot. They talk about this hotel in Aspen, the Limelight Hotel. They've got a strong culture of social interaction, emotional engagement, and it's wrapped up in an aura of authenticity. So, I think it's great when hotels can come up with ideas that will improve their customers' experience, because by improving their experience, they're going to have them come back. They're going to have their friends tell their friends. This particular hotel in Aspen that they were talking about says that they get, I think, 50% local people even come and stay with them, which is massive. When you can even attract your local crowd as well as an out-of-town crowd, it really helps balance out your busy and slow periods, which is fantastic to see. So, I don't know if you can think of hotels that you've stayed in or maybe have worked in, or how it's changed over the last number of years. I don't know about where most of you guys are from, if the hotels have changed their offerings and how they present themselves to people, but I stay in a lot of Marriott hotels. They have a number of different chains, the Spring Hill, Residence Inn, a number of them. Anywhere I travel, I try to stay in a Marriott hotel because I absolutely love the chain. And I have found that a lot of them do have this, happy hour or different events going on at the hotel to kind of bring guests together to make sure that people have an enjoyable experience. So, Hopefully you got something out of chapter 5. I think the last case study is good. I didn't have too many questions that I wanted to really dive into on it. And I wanted to encourage you guys that are falling a bit behind and not able to get your exam done to get that Serving It Right exam done and get a copy of your certificate into me. It's 10% of your grade, so you need to get that done. And then also open up some time for you guys to be able to start on your next exam. So the next one you're going to be doing, oh, sorry, I don't have it on my screen yet, is the WHMIS exam, I believe. And it's required by a lot of workplaces. It's going to be very beneficial on your resume. Just pulling it up here. It's just a safety training program. Most companies do offer or do give it to their employees, larger companies, or require it as a condition of employment. So make sure you put your Serving It Right on the next resume you hand out. Make sure you get this WHMIS on your resume and get the exam done. It is due in 2 weeks, but a number of you have had problems and are emailing me last minute trying to get your exams done. So try and get it done ahead of time. That way, if you have any problems, we have time to solve that before you start getting docked for not getting your assignments in. Okay, so next week we're going to go into chapter 6. You can have a read through that, and I'll post some videos next Wednesday. I would like to see if you guys have any feedback of the course. If you're finding, I think the first few weeks did move very quickly because we missed the first day. But just let me know how you're finding these videos, the PowerPoint, if you're understanding all of the information that's coming across. If you need any help, let me know. Yeah, have a fantastic week and give me some feedback if you have any. Thank you.